is supposed to be fun. On February 3rd, it will be again.
The XFL, coming this February.
It's real football.
The original XFL in 2001 was another attempt at spring football following the collapse of the USFL in the 80s. For some quarterbacks, it was a stop along the way before they headed on to arena football or the NFL. For a lot of other quarterbacks, it was the final stop of their football journey. So where are some of these quarterbacks now? In this video, we're going to catch up with a few of those quarterbacks. We'll start with the XFL champion and MVP who went on to win a Super Bowl ring. Tommy Maddox's NFL career got off to a shaky start in 1992 when he was drafted by the Denver Broncos in the first round. The one-time heir apparent to Hall of Famer John Elway did start 4 games that season, but spent most of his time as the place kick holder in 1993. After a season with the LA Rams, a season with the New York Giants, and then a break from football to sell insurance from 1997 until 1999, the Arena Football League came calling in 2000, and Maddox joined the New Jersey Red Dogs, where he threw for 3,800 yards and 64 touchdowns. Maddox signed with the XFL's LA Extreme, where most thought he would back up Scott Milanovic, but Maddox won the job and led the Extreme to the XFL championship after a season that saw him lead the league with nearly 2,200 yards passing and 18 touchdowns. Maddox was the OG MVP. When the XFL folded, Maddox was back in the NFL with the Pittsburgh Steelers, where he played for 5 seasons, including his final year in 2005, where he started a couple of games as a backup to Ben Roethlisberger, who eventually returned from injury and led the Steelers to a Super Bowl win. Maddox never played past Week 11 of the regular season, but he did get a Super Bowl ring. Tryouts with Oakland and Dallas failed to work out for Maddox in 2006, so he retired and returned to his home in Texas, where he was a youth baseball coach. Maddox is now in the Texas real estate business. His Tommy Maddox team are, as they describe, leading specialists in Texas luxury estates, land and ranch properties, residential homes, and investment properties. We go from the league's best quarterback to one of the worst, but he actually did get a taste of the NFL about 2 decades later. Chicago Enforcers quarterback Tim Lester threw for only 581 yards in the XFL. That's because after an 0-4 start, the Enforcers cut Lester after he was benched. Undeterred by failure in the XFL, Lester went on to play in the Arena Football League for the Nashville Cats and the Carolina Cobras later in 2001, then played for the Memphis Explorers in AF2 in 2002. Lester immediately went into coaching and landed his first college head coaching job at Division II St. Joseph's in 2004. Lester had several more college football stops, including head coach at Western Michigan, before becoming a senior analyst for the Green Bay Packers in 2023. He's now the offensive coordinator for the Iowa Hawkeyes. The XFL kicked off on February 3rd, 2001 with a matchup between the New York, New Jersey Hitmen and the Las Vegas Outlaws. Las Vegas quarterback Ryan Clement threw the first touchdown in the league. Sometimes better lucky than good on that one. Clement, in fact, had a couple of scores in a 19-0 win over the Hitmen. Clement was one of the 3 Las Vegas quarterbacks to sustain injuries during the XFL's single season and was once replaced by Mark Grebe, who went on to have success in the Arena League and won 2 Arena Bowl championships with the San Jose SaberCats. Clement took a nearly 7-year break from football, in which he earned a law degree from his alma mater, Miami, then worked for a political consulting service. Clement returned to pro football as the quarterback of the Colorado Ice of the United Indoor Football League in 2008. Clement is now an entrepreneur, and one of his projects is building a horse racing track in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Grebe, by the way, now a high school football coach who won a divisional championship in 2024 at Sacred Heart Prep in Atherton, California. You might be asking yourself, what is taking him so long to get to the best soundbite in all of spring football history? Well, wait no more.
1, is this or is this not the XFL? Yes, it is. 2, do I or do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
Orlando Rage quarterback Jeff Brom's pregame interview, one for the ages, and it still resonates nearly 25 years later. This happened after Brom was returning from one of the hardest hits in all of spring football. But Brom was more than a good interview. He was a good quarterback, tied for 4th in touchdown passes despite that near on-field decapitation. Brom had stints with San Diego, Washington, San Francisco, Tampa Bay, Denver, and Cleveland before joining the XFL. When the league folded, Brom returned to his hometown of Louisville, where he was named head coach of the Louisville Fire, an AF2 team, in December of 2001. The following year, he returned to his alma mater at the University of Louisville, where he served as an assistant coach until 2008. He then rejoined his former college coach Howard Schnellenberger at Florida Atlantic in 2009, and then was an assistant at Illinois in 2010 and 2011 before taking an assistant position at UAB in 2012. Brom headed to Western Kentucky University in 2013 to coach again with former U of L head coach Bobby Petrino. When Petrino left for his second stint at Louisville, Brom was named head coach at Western Kentucky University, where he stayed until 2016, moved to the head coaching job at Purdue from 2017 until 2022, when he accepted his current job, head coach of the Louisville Cardinals. San Francisco Demons quarterback Mike Pawlowski was the league's most accurate passer and was second in the league in total passing yards for the 5-5 Demons. Pawlowski was well-versed in the alt football world before wrapping up his career in the XFL. After spending a year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 1992, Pawlowski was on the practice squad of the CFL's Baltimore Stallions in 1994. The following year was an interesting one for Pawlowski. In 1995, he played for the Arena Football League's Miami Hooters, then later that year for the AFL's San Jose SaberCats, and then played for a third team that year, the CFL's Shreveport Pirates. Pawlowski found success in a return to the Arena Football League. He was the signal caller for the Albany Firebirds from 1996 until 2000, winning the 1999 Arena Bowl. Pawlowski called it a career after the XFL, and he's now a broadcaster, podcaster, and performance coach. He recently published a book titled Everyday Great, the Playbook for Winning at Everything. Another well-traveled quarterback who made a stop in the 2001 XFL was New York, New Jersey Hitmen quarterback Charlie Polari. Polari had 8 stops in pro football before the XFL, starting in 1993 with the CFL's Sacramento Gold Miners, followed by another CFL stop the next year with the Shreveport Pirates. Then in 1995, Polari was in the Arena Football League with the Miami Hooters. Yes, along with Mike Pawlowski. Unfortunately, the two of them together could not help the hapless Hooters, who won just one game that season. In 1996, Polari stayed in the AFL, this time with the Texas Terror for a season, before heading back outdoors and overseas with the World League of American Football's London Monarchs in 1997. Polari finished out the 90s with a stop at the Arena Football League's Iowa Barnstormers in 1998 and the New Jersey Red Dogs in 1999. In 2000, Polari was on the Dallas Cowboys practice squad before calling signals for the Hitmen in 2001. Polari struggled and was replaced by Wally Richardson, but his struggles did lead to a change for the XFL. Well, the XFL footballs were certainly eye-catching. The problem is, a lot of these quarterbacks said these balls were extremely slippery. The XFL fixed the problem by using a wire brush and sandpaper to give the ball a better texture. Polari was one of the quarterbacks who brought the problem to the attention of the league, albeit too little too late for his XFL career. Polari was on another one-win Arena League team in 2002 with the Detroit Fury, and then he wrapped up his career in 2003 with the Buffalo Destroyers in their final season before relocating to Columbus. Polari is now a mortgage loan officer in Delray Beach, Florida. The Birmingham Bolts had more quarterbacks on their roster than they had wins. One of those quarterbacks was Casey Weldon, who was 4th in the league in passing for the 2-win Bolts. Before the XFL, Weldon had brief stints with the Philadelphia Eagles, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a couple of times, the NFL Europe's Barcelona Dragons, and then back in the States and the NFL with San Diego and Washington. Weldon played under pressure with the Bolts as the local fans pulled for backup Jay Barker, a former University of Alabama quarterback. When Weldon was injured, Barker took over, but Barker's career ended with a trip to the bench after a concussion. Weldon, a Florida State grad and Heisman Trophy candidate, is back in Tallahassee as the founder of Advanced Drying Systems, a water mitigation company he founded in 2009. Memphis Maniacs quarterback Jim Druckenmiller was a first-round pick by the San Francisco 49ers in 1997, but after 2 years, he was traded to the Miami Dolphins, where he played just a single preseason game and was cut in August of 1999. Druckenmiller ended up with the Maniacs in 2001, where he was the 4th-rated passer, and he led all quarterbacks in rushing yards. After a variety of real-world jobs following his football career, Druckenmiller is now a hearing care practitioner in North Carolina. Brett Forrest wrote this incredible book called Long Bomb. It was all the behind-the-scenes stuff that happened with the original XFL. He was embedded in that season and has a lot of great stories in this book. And he told some of those stories in this interview that I did with him not too long ago. Check that video out, and if you like alt football, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel.